Welcome back to the Folio Media Studio here at the AI and Crypto event for real estate pros. It is a huge honor to be here today with Fernando Arencibia and Jennifer Wollman. These are titans of the industry. Fernando is the broker and co-CEO of Avanti Way Commercial and former chairman of the board of Miami REALTORS, as well as former president of Miami Commercial and board governor for Miami REALTORS Commercial. Fernando's played a crucial role in impacting key policy decisions and important issues affecting South Florida real estate at the local, state, and federal level. Jennifer, also a titan of industry, is the co-broker of Avanti Way Commercial and a former chairman of Miami REALTORS as well, and a past president of Miami REALTORS Commercial. Jennifer has had a key impact at all policy levels, at the state and national level as well. Her real passion has been serving the South Florida community. Jennifer's been a member of the Miami-Dade Economic Recovery Task Force, the Village of Pinecrest Planning Board, and the Miami-Dade Public School Board. Guys, thank you for being here today.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure.
So,
I'm gonna have fun with that mic going back and forth.
in case you guys don't know, these guys also host one of the most popular podcasts on commercial real estate called Between Two Chairs, which we will arrange shortly. So, guys, given your leadership across local, state, and federal levels, how are industry groups shaping or planning to shape policy around artificial intelligence adoption and crypto-related transactions in commercial real estate?
Do you want to take it?
Sure. I mean, I think for us is the way to look at it is finding a balance between innovation and consumer protection, right? I think when you have something as impactful as AI and as crypto, what creates trust in the consumers is the ability to have some guidelines and some safety nets that are protective of their assets. And so I think those are important things, and I think the balance is to find a way to work with regulators so that they don't impede innovation,
yes,
but they create the level of protection that the consumer is after.
And I think that, look, tech comes first and then the government figures it out after the fact, kind of as issues start to come to light, which I kind of like. It's a lot of people get frustrated by that fact because it's kind of like the wild, wild west out there. But the reality is they're not getting in the way of innovation and creating laws and standards that they don't know what they need to address yet.
In that vein, what would you see as an opportunity for leaders as yourselves and practitioners as us to contribute to moving forward the right kind of policy framework that will help us accelerate?
I think what's happening here is that we're all part of the conversation, right? Because AI is a concept, right? And it's almost like a mindset, right? And the adoption by practitioners is also going to lead the way in which these regulations are going to be built. They're going to be built around the way people are utilizing them, right? Both on the good and in the bad, right? And that's really what happens is that, people adopt these technologies and they kind of test the boundaries, right? And then that's when we know, okay, this is a line that we don't want to cross. Let's create protection barriers around it so that we can really focus on the positives of the technology.
And the good thing for somebody like Folio Title, you see so many different closings, right, across all sorts of different asset class, different areas. So you're going to have insights into issues that either do arise or that could potentially arise, and you're going to see it before the government sees it, right? Because of the sheer number of transactions that you see. Same thing with us in real estate, right?
Yeah.
We see the volume, we all talk to each other, we all collaborate, so we see it, and then we could go, ooh, not a problem yet, but could be, and then that's where we take it to our local, state, and national legislators.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you add boom operator to my bio, okay? So.
Well, and in that vein, I think it's very interesting that you talked about consumer protection, because one of the key areas of focus for Folio is security in real estate transactions. Wire fraud, for example, has exploded, yet there are all these technologies like crypto that are actually very safe but we need to provide holistic solutions to be able to take clients from beginning to end on these transactions.
Well, and more than the crypto, it's the blockchain, right? So I'm way more gung-ho on blockchain and the technology of blockchain for helping transactions move along than I am necessarily on the crypto side, right? I think that for our industry, the big player in the room is blockchain.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I totally agree. I think the potential of blockchain, and really, we say potential, but we're already seeing it, develop and flower and grow. And I think it has the potential to really create the transparency that we're after really in real estate, whether it's residential or commercial. And it allows you to create speed to market in a way that you feel that it's protective of all the things that we're looking for, and to make sure the consumer is getting what they're after, right? Which is clarity of title, make sure that the blockchain is there to provide that layer of protection.
Talk to me a little bit about case studies or examples that you've seen in commercial real estate here in Florida with some of your clients around the use of artificial intelligence or crypto in commercial real estate.
I mean, I don't know about you, but every conversation I've had, whether it's with my clients or with our agents, they like to share examples of how they're using the AI in their day-to-day business, right? And it's really funny because there's always like a little bit of an aha moment. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you use it for this. And so, what we're seeing is that our customers are using it to evaluate the financials of a property and to really make decisions, right? When they're looking at 4 properties, they're using the AI to kind of help them guide the conversation as to what is the best choice here based on location, based on the income that it's generating, the potential future value of the property. And all of those things are a part of it. The agents are using it for similar approach, right? When they want to evaluate, well, what is the property going to look like in the marketplace, and how is the market going to, receive it? But they're also looking at, how do I become hyper local and hyper specific in the way that I market that property? So, listen, AI, the potential is, is exponential. So
yeah. And crypto, I agree with him 100% on everything AI. Everybody's adopting it and trying to figure out how it's going to leverage them. Cautionary tale is AI isn't 100% accurate or 100% real, and we've run into valuation issues where we're like, oh, let's just throw this information in and see what value they come up with for this commercial property. And then we look at it and AI didn't realize that, Baptist Hospital was a major buyer in the area, and therefore that property was worth way more than somebody, than AI had given it a value to. So I think the human element is still very important there. And on the crypto side, crypto is very much like real estate. It comes and goes in waves. It was super, super popular and very the topic of the moment back in 2019 before COVID, and then it collapsed and it kind of went silent for a while, and now we're seeing the hype and the activity pick up again because it is worth so much. And now people who own a lot of crypto are like, okay, well, great, I have millions of dollars in crypto, but how can I use that to generate assets? And that's where it's coming into the commercial transactions.
And that dovetails into my next question about AI, which is the opportunity for commercial real estate agents to harness this technology and really stand out and differentiate themselves, because that human element is so important. How are you guys working with your commercial real estate agents to help them become proficient and become value added beyond the AI?
I mean, look, this sentence has become kind of a cliche. We've heard our very own Inés Egeres Garcia mention it, that AI is not going to replace agents, but agents that don't use AI will get replaced by agents that use AI. So we are encouraging its usability. We are encouraging its interaction. What's really interesting is that as you interact with these tools, there's a layer of you that you put into it, right? Because there's a layer of creativity. You could ask it anything that you wanted. What I see in the future is more customization, more of creating your own GPT, being able to add your own data points, being able to direct it a little bit better. One of the things to consider is, remember, AI is never going to tell you, I don't know. Right, and so you're using a tool that is never going to say, well, I don't know the answer to that. And sometimes in order to do that, it creates its own answer, right? It just makes it up. So you always need the human element. You need a professional real estate experienced broker that is going to look at the data, that is going to look at the information and make sure that they become, the quality control that you need. The human becomes the quality control for the outputs that the AI creates, but the AI replaces a lot of the activities that would take you otherwise hours to do.
So with the AI, it's all about, everyone says it's about the prompts, but for example, what Fernando was talking about in personalizing it. So again, going back to the commercial real estate, you can put in a lot of information into your prompt, but if you say, if you know the story behind the neighborhood or the location and you can add that in, that is going to be way more specific than if you just say analyze this piece of property, right? You need to know what's happening, how the demographics are changing, who's moving in, who's moving out, are there legislative issues that are coming up, and AI isn't going to put that into your analysis unless you prompt it to.
That's so true.
So we talked a little bit about some of the foreseeable impacts that AI is going to have on commercial real estate, like valuation models, like putting in the right kind of prompt and the storytelling. But you guys mentioned blockchain, and I wanted to talk a little bit about tokenization, right? Tokenization is breaking down the ownership of properties into these digital tokens, kind of like shares, and selling fragments, right? So now, instead of needing millions of dollars to participate in a commercial real estate property, maybe you could participate with less, but you need the right kind of platform and the right kind of technology. From your perspective, talk to me a little bit about the opportunities you see with tokenization in commercial real estate.
I love this because tokenization already exists in real estate, right? It's called the GP-LP relationship, general partner versus limited partner. This isn't anything different. It's just that now you have a token which goes on the blockchain, so it's got the historical record to go along with that transaction. So I like, our tagline is demystifying commercial real estate, and that's kind of, tokenization sounds new and scary, but it's really not that different from what we currently do with the GP structure and an LP structure. And Nolan Ryan, who is from NRI International, he's the one who developed the Thesis Hotel. They tokenized that in 2021. They raised something like $38 million. And they're having issues, right? So it's really fun to track because the laws haven't caught up with it. How do you trade, right? Because it's not really a security, and how do you get it approved as security trading? So that's a really interesting case study to follow.
Listen, this is an example where the proper regulation will accelerate the adoption of tokenization, right? And we see great opportunity. And look, I have a friend who only invests in stocks and bonds. And his concern with real estate has always been that I don't get the same liquidity that I get in the stock market, right? This is an opportunity for that to exist. You have transparency, you have the blockchain understanding exactly who owns what, and you have the ability to trade. Because even in a GP-LP partnership, it's not that easy for you to get out of it and say, well, I'm going to sell my shares. Tokenization has an incredible future in the ecosystem of real estate and commercial real estate.
So, rapid fire questions to wrap up. AI in commercial real estate will make transactions
faster, more transparent, and increase the level of efficiency.
I'm going to pass on that one.
Just what he said.
What he said. Ditto.
You love real estate because?
It's so diverse. I can do just about anything with real estate. I can buy it, I can sell it, I can trade it, I can invest in it, I can paint it, I can tear it down and build it up from scratch.
In your podcast, Between Two Chairs, you guys demystify real estate, and you guys talk to some amazing visionaries. What's a story you can share with us about AI or crypto that you've heard in your podcast that you think really illustrates what the future holds?
Well, look, I don't think we've had really an AI.
For that answer.
There you go.
Between Two Giants, it's going to be called.
I love it. No, I believe that, we really haven't had an in-depth conversation with someone that only focuses on the AI, on the crypto. But what I find interesting is every leader that we have interviewed, every titan of industry, right? Their focus is on growth, and their focus is on the future potential of AI and blockchain and crypto. And so the reality is that it has permeated every single one of the conversations because it's here to stay.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere, and it is important to not only embrace it, but to create your own relationship with it.
And I think the interesting thing about that is that real estate has always been a late adopter of a lot of tech, but on AI and crypto, they're not. They've realized that if we come in late, we're going to miss the boat 100%. So this is the one thing that we've seen real estate really adopt rapidly.
Bueno, Jennifer, Fernando, it is a pleasure to be amongst two giants. Thank you very much for a great interview. Guys,
so
I
much
hope
for
you
the
enjoyed the
opportunity.
event. This is an amazing opportunity really to transform and get ahead of the industry. And we'll be talking to you soon again. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.